welcome back everybody. It's your boy B230 Kebab Man. So today we have the 740. It's a big day. I've been waiting for this day for a while now. So what I'm going to show you today is putting coilovers on your 200, 700, 900 series. They're all almost identical. 700 and 900 series are identical. 200 series is slightly different, but not by much. They all basically require like the same work to be done. And unfortunately with these cars, the only shitty part is the front strut tubes have to be welded. They do. And it's a bit of a pain, but if you know how to weld or you have someone that can weld, you know, it's convenient. I've heard a lot of good things about these and I'm dying to try them out. Let me show you what we're working here. So we have these BC Racing coilovers. I don't remember the part number. I'll put in the description. But let me show you. So this is what we're working with in the front. So these obviously come as one piece. What we're basically going to do is remove everything in the front, or at least some bolt, remove the knuckle, and then as you see, this bottom part is not painted, and you have this notch. So the knuckle also has a notch that when you sit this down, it aligns perfectly with the knuckle, and then you weld all around, including the notch. Obviously, whoever's welding it, they'll know what to do. But yeah, it's let me see if I can bolt it. I can't unscrew it right now, but you're gonna loosen this bolt, or not the bolt, the ring, I guess you would call it more like, and then you can completely unscrew the housing. And when you get it welded, obviously just give them the housing, not the whole coilover, and the knuckle, and they'll weld it. So I'm going to show you how to remove the knuckle and how to remove the front suspension, get everything out. And tomorrow I'll be taking these to a shop that's local. They're called Brake Bank. I'll put their Instagram on the bio. Very well-known shop down here. They build a lot of race cars and drift cars, and they're very well known down here. The owner, Bryce, I think he's the owner. I've spoke to him personally. He's also going to be the person that's going to be welding my diff and everything, and possibly a cage or whatever in the future. Tonight I'm just going to show you how to remove one of the knuckles. Obviously they're both the same, and then tomorrow I'll probably take a little clip of him welding the actual tubes, and then I'll show you how to install the front and the rear. The rear is just bolt on, no fabrication required. At the front, unfortunately, we do have to fabricate. So stick with me in the video and you can find out how to put coilovers on your Volvo 2, 7, and 900 series. Let's get to work. So obviously, when the BCs come, they come with the sheet. Take the spindle out. You have to cut it from a certain length, and then it shows you how to put it on there. It shows you to align the notch with that, blah 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 blah. Here's for the rear, instructing you to remove the bump stop, and yeah. So I'm basically going to be showing you all these steps in video form to have a better idea. And yes, you do have to weld them. There is no way around it. It has to be done. And then of course I'll give you guys a stance, like how it will change the stance. Right now we're on cut springs, you guys know this. And everything else. Everything I'll be reviewing before and after and all that. So a little information. It's I think 32 point dampening adjustment. You have the camber adjustment. Everything's built in. No bearing, no nothing. Makes it much easier. And here's the rear. And the hardware. Alright, so now that I got the car on stands, insane fitment. Let me remove the wheels. These are 21s. I gotta go grab the 21 1 second. I got the 21. I'm sure everybody already knows how to remove wheels. If you don't, and you don't have a power gun, make sure the wheel's on the ground when you're loosening. But if you have a gun, then obviously you don't gotta worry. Alright, step 1. Remove wheel. Is this on there? Fuck me, it is. Alright. Step 2, remove wheel spacer. Yeah, see, these OEM BBSs, they're Volvo OEM, by the way. And yes, they are BBS. Upside down BBS. They take these, unfortunately, mags, because it's like a deep dish wheel. As you see, pretty deep. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Just a whole lot of talking. Alright. So, here's how it's gonna go. Alright, a little rundown. Remove the spacer, obviously. Remove the caliper, obviously. Remove the tie rod, obviously. You don't have to remove the control arm. You're gonna unbolt the control arm, but you don't have to remove the control arm. At least I'm pretty sure you don't. Okay, because it sits on that ball joint, which you can remove the ball joint from the control arm, and then these are 18s. I think this is 19. And then you're gonna remove this, which is also on the ball joint, blah blah blah. They're like one piece, and this thing's nasty. And then we're gonna take care of the top, and that's it. And then it comes right out. Yeah, let's get to work. Oh, sway bar too. Forgot. My bad. I'll probably just, you don't gotta see. I'll just cut to me after me removing the freaking spacer and all that. Alright, spacer's removed. I'm gonna start with the brake caliper. Let's see if I can get you guys in the light here. Brake caliper bolt right here. Fuck me. Damn, I'm trying to shoot you. That's what it's hard. Fucking top view. Alright, right here. This is a hex. What size? Good fucking question. Because the one I'm using is hex 10, apparently. Right there. Now you're gonna crank on that hog. And it's loose. And then the other one is like right there. Same thing. Oh, come on. I hate doing this with one hand, I can't lie. I need a cameraman. Anybody that lives in South Florida that wants to be a volunteer cameraman, and then when you actually get a job, you can use me as a reference, and I can be like, yeah, definitely use him in a Michael Bay movie or something. There you go. And that's loose. So let me remove those and we continue from there on. I put up the light so we can get a better view. Look at that. Got it from Amazon. I'll put the link down. All right, back. Oh, fuck me. get this a lot. Should I invest in an electric ratchet? The answer simply is yes. Professional work, housework, whatever the fuck you're doing, fucking get one. I recommend this shit to everybody. I forgot this shit doesn't have the retainer for the fucking disc as well, just like the 940. Lovely. All right, that bolts out. This is how exactly I'm gonna leave it. I'm sure it'll be alright in the morning. I might end up needing new brake lines. Hopefully not. Anyways, let's continue. I guess, let's see. Yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so next up, I'm just gonna remove the sway bar link, which is what size, you may ask? We're about to find out, because I'm not sure. It is definitely not a 19. I already knew that. Still try it anyways. Oh my god. Sorry guys, man. I got bad knees. Don't judge me on the slides. These are OSHA approved. Alright. You know what? They may be 16. Nope. 15. Yep, aftermarket. 15 millimeter for those. There goes my disc brake. Oh, I gotta fix that before my lines fucking take a shit. Let me fix that real quick. Alright, since my disc's missing the retainer screw, I ended up putting a lug nut. I'm gonna put like a I don't even got a flathead, man. Alright, I'm just gonna put like a something and open up the piston a little bit. So give me a second, let me do that. Bendix. These are the good calipers, by the way. You don't want the girling or ass. Bendix is the way to go. Alright, so I just pressed the needle nose into it and then just kind of pried it off because I didn't have anything else. So now we can get this off. Crusty rotor. If you see the big old lip on that, that's why it was getting held on. I was holding the caliper. Alright, we shall continue. Alright, next step is going to be to remove. Oh yes, I was already working on the sway bar link. I love recording these at night, it's my favorite. I even love them more when the bolts are stuck. To bring out the bigger guns. There we go, look at that. No option left. Remove. Always keep these. I lose them and then it's a fucking pain in the ass to get new ones. Just kidding, you just go to an auto parts store and fucking pick one up. Now, if yours doesn't come out easily, like mine, unfortunately, do not hit the freaking thing. Don't beat the bolt. Don't be stupid. Oh, actually, hold up. Never mind, this one you can. I lied. Because it has the snout. Fuck you. I pay for the socket. There you go, look at that. Lovely. And just like that, it's out. All right, next up is going to be I'm just gonna just remove these 18s, this one and the one behind it. They're all, I mean, they're both the same thing. And then we just gotta let go from the top of the strut and everything should be out. Unfortunately, I can't take it out too far. Oops. Just like that. Those two are loose. Got the ratchet. Alright, so this part is done. Oh my god. Alright, so this actually completely loose right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the hood. Alright, so these strut bolts are 15s. Take this one out, one, and then slowly, because it will fall. Alright. And now, as you see, the assembly is up, but you'll be able to push it down. What we're going to do is, and do this carefully please, push it down a little bit. As you see, it comes right off. And then you're gonna put your hand on the control arm, the lower control arm, and put it like this. Just like that. And then the whole strut will come out with the knuckle. And this is basically what we're doing. This is what we're dealing with. So we're gonna take the top hat off. We're gonna remove everything, and then there's a specific measurement the BCs actually instruct you to do, which is about 50 millimeters, if I'm not wrong. So about like right here, maybe. I'll show you the measurement, and then cut it from there, and that's it. We're golden. Alright, so step one, cut the OEM front shock 50 millimeters above the knuckle. See, pick one. Pick one. Note the breach on the bottom of BC lower mount is to clear, blah blah blah. This is for tomorrow. Pick two, then pick three. So 50 millimeters. I'm going to measure 50 millimeters. And I'm just going to cut it. So, yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so here I have a vernier caliper, electronic one. So we're gonna go to 50 millimeters, which is 5 centimeters, obviously. 50. Too much. Yeah, good enough. I'm gonna lock it in its place. Yeah. So it's going to be about right here. Yeah, it's breaking. We're done with the cutting. It's give or take 50 millimeters all around. So the idea is for you to slide this bad boy on there, just like how I am right now. There is just like that. I'm not showing the notch right now because the notch sits back here now, like you're gonna be able to see it really. But just like that, on this housing, the notch sits there, and then you weld it. Obviously clean your metal. I'm not going to show you that. Just get like a wire brush or something, clean the metal, and this is how it's going to be like when it's done, well, welded. And then I do suggest that you to coat the bare metal just after you weld it, spray paint it black with like freaking Home Depot spray paint, you know, or Stylium crap, whatever, and then you're done. Just like that. So this is going to be the finished product. So hello and good morning, everybody. It's the next day. Last night I filmed me cutting the strut tubes and all that. As you see, both sides are out. I'm about to head up a bit up north, about 45-minute drive, so I can get the struts welded on. Gotta move the car. Yeah. To get all this stuff out. As you see, here we got it, everything. I cleaned the metal. They're ready to be welded on. So our friend Bryce, I'll put his information down, but he's gonna be welding it for us. There's one. It's dying, but is it? Will it resurrect itself? Yeah, it did. Yeah, there is a fuel pressure issue at the 940. That's been happening ever since I got it. So yeah, let me load these up, and then we'll take a few clips of me driving there, and then I'll be filming over there at Bryce's shop of him welding it. And then for when we get back, we'll finish the rest of the video with mounting the fronts on and the rears and all that. So see you guys in a bit. So this is a pro car. What chassis was this?
This is an S14.
S14.
Koki. It's still in like the fabrication stage. Yeah. It's going to be a Pro-Am car, but it's built to the Formula Drift Pro Spec rulebook. So like stock steering column, stock pedals, but everything else is.
Yeah. Very nice.
It's got a crate motor. It's an LS3. So 6.2 liter. It's going to be Texas speed cam, a couple other goodies. It should be
NA?
NA, right around 500 horsepower NA.
That's all you need. 500.
Yeah.
500 to the wheels. Yeah, that is true.
Brand new T56 Magnum, 6-speed. Yeah, pretty sick stuff. The transmission came on a pallet, brand new, 0 miles. The engine came on a pallet, brand new, 0 miles.
Very nice. 4C99s.
4 of them there, 1 up there, another 2 of them behind that.
So why is CD009 the worst transmission?
Fucking glass. And it's like, if you're gonna spend all the money, like to buy a swap kit, just spend the money on a better transmission. It's like, yeah, the transmission is cheap, but the swap kit is expensive. So if you're spending that much money, just buy a good transmission.
Yeah.
I'm just tapping right now.
Done with tacking. And he's about to tack this one. We're gonna go ahead and watch him throw some nasty bolts.
This side didn't pop and hiss.
Okay, so it's one side then. Well,
We'll see. Covered?
yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Trying to burn through it.
So we switched to MIG because the metal was a bit too porous for the TIG. I didn't like the TIG road. So
Yeah.
Bryce decided it's gonna be better to take the MIG welder out. And honestly, yeah, it is much cleaner. Alright, so while Bryce is welding, we're gonna take a look at what kind of goods he has on the shadow. Not sure what's under that. It's under the covers. Cookie Steve's Sylvia. P36 convertible of 1J in it. Said nitrous G35. There's a C6 in there. Apparently that's gonna be a cant car. And that's also another cant car. Yeah, very cool, very cool.
Is the easy part. You know, making it strong is not.
Yeah.
As long as you do shit right. Yeah, looks okay.
Yeah, they're pretty. I like them.
Sweet.
They're gonna get covered with black spray paint anyways. So
Got some paint if you want.
alright guys, so we're back at the house. We got both of them welded. Bryce from Brake Bank, I'll leave his YouTube down. He did a great job. We ended up switching to MIG because the metal wasn't reacting well to TIG because it's so porous from the casting and it is 30 years old. So he just decided to hit it with MIG. He looks quite good and it's all about strength at the end of the day. So I'm going to hit it with some spray paint so we can avoid corrosion and whatnot, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to install these. So see you guys after I spray paint these. I laid the spray paint, nothing crazy, just a bit of a black coat. I ended up doing the whole thing. You know, regular Rust-Oleum. Just for protection, I'm gonna hit it with some clear coat, and then that's it. And then we're just gonna slap them on. Alright, so I'm about to install the BCs. It did rain, unfortunately, so we had to postpone a little bit. But I did screw in the housing all the way flush. I'm gonna tighten the first nut first. It is painted. I painted the whole thing. I don't know why. I was bored. So, I mean, pretty basic. We're gonna slide it in there, and when you're setting these up, the shorter gap needs to face the back of the car, and the larger gap needs to face the front. And obviously, after you put it in, you can adjust everything, and all the bolts that we took out go in literally the same exact as when we took them out. So let's get to work, and then we can move on to the rears. All right, so as you see, these washers, they come slanted. So when you're putting them on the strut tower over here, that and you know, you tighten the bolts, just do it slowly and kind of wiggle them so they align, so everything's sitting flush. Because if you don't put these in, then the bolt does sit diagonal, and you don't want to damage the chassis on the strut tower, the metal. So we're done with the front. Tightened everything up. The calipers on, brakes on, coilovers are on. With the forks, tighten these. Adjust your height by loosening this one and then that one. Once you loosen one of them, the other one is going to be loose anyways. That's how we're going to adjust your height. I'm not going to show the dialing in because everybody's taste is different. This is simple. The knob, twist. I put it on the, I'm going to put mine on the hardest. The camber adjustment. The camber adjustment, you loosen these bolts, and you will be able to move this whole, the strut, like the top mount. And if you don't get enough angle, you remove the bolt as a whole and then put it in that or that, and you adjust like that. I'm not gonna touch mine because, well, not yet. I don't know how much camber it's gonna have off rip. So when I lower the car, I'll show you guys what it'll look like. But now we're gonna move on to the rear. We're gonna do the rear, which is much easier. The rear is going to be 2 bolts for that shock. Take the shock out, and then it's 1 bolt for the spring. Take the spring out and just replace them with the new stuff, and that'll be it. Again, I won't show the adjustment for that, but you guys can figure out the adjustment and all that depending on your personal taste. So let's go ahead and move on to the rear. All right, so here we're in the rear. You're gonna take this cover off if you have it. Most don't, some do. I don't have a flat head, so I am trying to improvise here. There we go, that's out. And then that's the bolt you're gonna take out. This is the next bolt you're gonna take out down here. Nice little foot shot. And then you basically put the coilover in, and then there's a top bolt over here that I shall show you. That guy right there. Let me see. Yeah, it's that guy right there. Go get that guy out. put the new spring in, and that's it. You're done. Very simple in the back. Boom and boom. So let's get to it. There's nothing that behind this that you have to hold. It's into the chassis. If you cross thread this, you are fucked. You better find a bigger bolt and cross thread that shit in, and make sure like it cross threads in. So let's get to work. So this bolt is a 17. I don't know if this is the OEM bolt though. Doesn't look like it. Once you remove this, expect for the shock to lower. So that's one. This bottom bolt is also a 17. It is held on in the back though. So you will have to hold it in the back with something else, with like a pliers or whatever. There you go. That's out. That's what it looks like. You can loosen this bolt and you can screw in the housing even farther. I think it goes about like another 1/4 inch farther down. I'm not going to be doing that. I do suggest you adjust the dampening now, because once you put it in there, if you want to adjust it again, you're going to have to take the whole thing off. I put mine to hardest. It's a solid axle, so the harder it is in the back, probably the better it's going to be. I just want to feel a bit rougher and more of a one piece, then have some forgiveness, but we'll probably dial it back down depending on how it feels. Hopefully not though. So there we go. Let's slap this in. This is how it goes in, bottom, top, and yeah, that's it. There's our bolts. Don't tighten it fully just yet. I think I'm gonna go ahead and install the spring first because of how low it's going to be. I think that might be the best way to do this. I might have to loosen this and thread the housing out more. Hopefully not, but it just might have to happen. I'm also checking if I can see. Okay, so it feels like you can adjust the hardness without removing, which is a good thing. So you just gotta know which way to spin. But since I'm already on hard, I can tell. But yeah, let's go ahead and remove the spring. I think it's like a 14 or 15. You are required to remove the bump stop that's located right here. I already did. No bolt, just kind of yank on it. It'll come out. Don't hurt yourself. You probably will. I did. So let's go ahead and grab the spring and all that, and then replace that. Alright, just like that. Get this out. Here's the bolt. Pretty shallow bolt, actually. You don't need any of this. This does screw out, whatever. I'm not gonna do that. Here's the new spring with the adjustment. They come with these rubber bases. Make sure to put the base on. You need the base, just like how the old one had it. The old one has this base. This one also has a base. So make sure to install that. As far as depth goes, is that really enough? I don't know. I have to put this in. I want to see how much this sticks out. It sticks out that much more than this. Why doesn't this stick out more? I don't know. I guess, let me see if I can put it in the way it is. Oh wait, where's my rubber base? There it is. Don't forget the base. Yeah, there just isn't enough bolt. BC, what the fuck were you guys thinking when you guys designed this part? Why would you give me such a It's just not enough bolt. I don't know why. What the fuck? We might have to go get another bolt, man. This is this literally is not long enough. I had to go to advanced because the bolt was actually too short. It's a 30mm bolt by BC. It's M10 by 1.5. This 40mm, extra 10mm. We got a bit more threads, so this should cut it. And yeah, let's slap the springs on. Alright, so I put the bolt through. Now that we have much more clearance, you're going to go. Fuck, I can't see. Find the hole. There you go. And then you're literally just going to screw it in there. It's a 17mm, by the way. There you go. And then lowest setting. Give it a, if I were you, I would do like a little gentle tug on it with the ratchet, just for good measure. You don't want that. Yes, top 10 slides. But you don't want that. You don't want that coming loose. That's like not very great for you or your car. There you go. Press it back up. At least you get the spring in. Which, oh shit. Drop it. Look at that. Fuck. You know, that is actually going to be so low. We're gonna have to adjust that. Like off rip, I can tell you that right now. Alright guys, so it's the next day. I've been very busy today, unfortunately, so I couldn't record this earlier. I just took a late night drive. I haven't adjusted the BCs at all. This is stock. I really like the way it looks. I might lower it just slightly, but now that I can fit a jack under it. Well, here's the, I guess, the review. So while I was installing it, I set them on the hardest, you guys saw. Right now, currently, the rear is still on the hardest setting, but the front is on the softest setting. I haven't been able to adjust the rear. So let's talk about how it actually feels. On the hardest setting, even when my front was on the hardest setting, it's hard. I mean, we're talking about coilovers here, you know, and they are hard. Too hard? Possibly. If you're looking to have like a comfortable daily, but like better suspension, whatever, this is not the option for you. Definitely not. I think you are better off doing the IPD, not the IPD, the Bilstein B6s, where it's a bit sportier, but it's definitely not as rough as this. Or if you want OEM, go Bilstein B4, and the IPD lowering springs if you want to go lower and have a bit more of a comfortable ride. This is not a very comfortable ride, even when it's on the softest setting. It just isn't. Since it's a solid axle, I'm probably going to keep, well, I'm actually going to soften to the softest setting on both sides, just because you do want a little bit of forgiveness, especially this being a drift car, and with the, you know, a lot of the street drifting and unevenness of the surface and whatever, you want a bit of forgiveness. You want to be a static boy with whatever, yeah, put it on hardest. it's very static on the hardest setting. It really is very hard. Tell you what though, I was, you know, driving it a bit, you know, through bends and corners. It feels amazing through the corners. It honestly feels so good, to the point where you don't even need to put sway bars on it. I'm still going to, but you don't need it at all. It feels one piece, very solid. Honestly, when it's static and both on the hardest, it really does feel like a go-kart. It's very like a solid chassis. It feels like there is no forgiveness in, you know, front or the rear. It is very like assembled and very one piece when you're driving it. It's very go-kart like. So yeah, if you want as a everyday driver, but comfortable, this is not the way to go. But if you want to do drifting, or you want to be static, or you want to, you know, handle some mountain corners, depending on where you live. I live in Florida, so I don't have that option. This is definitely way to go. I don't know how the B&E Dynamics coilovers compare to these. I'm sure they are similar, but this, if you have ever owned any other BC sets for any other car, these feel exactly like that. Only difference is this car is very light and very boxy and kind of very hard and tight in the structural integrity of the chassis. I don't know if you guys know, but the weight distribution on these cars, in the 740s especially, is 50-50. It's or I think it's 51-49. It's very, very balanced. That's why when you put it on a strictly like a hard setup, it feels very good when it comes to, again, drifting and on the corners. It honestly is so phenomenal on the corners. I don't even know how to explain it. But if that's not what you're looking for and you want to just lower your car, you can honestly do cut springs with Bilstein B4s. That's what I had before, and it was all right. It wasn't like extremely rough, but it was rough. Or you can do IPD lowering springs with B4s or B6s. If you have a 7 Series, there are B8s available, but if you're gonna spend the money on B8s, you might as well just get the BCs. Of course, the B8s are just a strut cartridge. You drop it in there and that's it. No welding required. The BCs, you need to weld it. But it is what it is, depending on what you're looking for. So yeah, that is my review on it. Feels very, very firm, very stiff. Even on the softest setting, it is still very stiff. On the softest setting, it's still very stiff. So overall, am I pleased with it? Absolutely. I think it's going to be a great drift car. I think it's going to be a great driving car. It is very responsive. Everything feels phenomenal. Would I recommend it? Definitely. But again, it comes down to what you're looking for. And you guys know I have a 940 that has the IPD lowering springs with the B6s, and that feels phenomenal for a daily driver. It's not as comfortable, but it is, you know, a little sporty. And it's a little responsive. I do have the sway bars and everything on it too. So yeah, that's my review. I'm about to go to the pub and have a few pints of Guinness, you know, enjoy my night. Do not drink and drive. And see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching today's video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on it or DM me on Instagram, B230 Kebab Man. I'm gonna leave Bryce's information. If you're in South Florida, Bryce builds his Instagram, I believe. Again, I'll put it down. Big and huge shout out to Bryce for hooking me up with the welds. They're phenomenal. It feels so good. So, and check out Bryce's drift team. It's called Brake Bang. They are great. Honestly, they're a great team. I can't wait to meet the other guys in his team. From what I've seen and what Bryce made it sound like, everything sounds and looks sick. So again, thank you for everything, and see you guys next time.